What is going on, YouTube? I am your host, Leon Gutzel, and I'm here with JT Vega, and maybe Norwegian guy might come back in. We're not sure yet, but welcome to Leave Extraordinary Assholes. We are Watchdogs. Yes, today Watch Dogs 2 has finally been revealed. They have, instead of just being rumors, speculations, leaks, and stuff like that, they actually showed the reveal live stream. They did a live stream instead, showed a bunch of new aspects of the game. And JT, you watched as much as I did. What's your opinion on what you saw?
I think they pretty much did what they could to make this happen, because everything that I saw in this video, they discussed the what they improved in the game, what they added in the game, what they pushed out into the game. I think the game does have some potential to be fun, because they're not just offering you this game for a good reason. They're showing you that you have a choice, that you could they give you alternatives in this game for Watch Dogs 2. That you can choose the hacker path, the stealth path, or the shoot 'em up path, or the tech path, which you basically just use gadgets and such to hack into and just control anything and just do whatever you need to do.
Oh yeah, I have started. I enjoy Watch Dogs. It's the first game was fun. It wasn't the best. It seemed like they're trying to go more Grand Theft Auto on this first one, but now the second one, unlike what everybody says, it's not Grand Theft Auto clone. It is not anywhere near a Grand Theft Auto clone. It's its own entity on its own. It's basically, I mean, Grand Theft Auto doesn't have hacking.
Yeah,
that I could.
Grand Theft Auto, yeah, because I remember actually there was one mission that you had to hack into a safe and try to crack it.
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. Give me a second here. I got to get my train of thought.
That's fine. That's fine.
One of the good things about Watch Dogs is, like this new one they had, the developers, they decided to basically say, they decided to look at like how-to videos on YouTube and make weapons for the character, which was the billiards ball with the paracord. And they gave that to the stunt team, and they realized how it could be used.
Yeah. Which
was pretty cool. I mean, seriously, they're learning a lot. They're doing what their ideas are. How like the hand-to-hand combat, that billiards ball paracord cable, proves of how you would think of a character in Watch Dogs would be. They take tutorials from YouTube on how to make items.
Yeah,
and like
well,
how you said,
I guess the 3D printer thing was kind of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You talk about that.
The 3D printer, it's kind of new, and it's kind of common among tech geeks, and it's been used. And also they did the 3D printer gun thing, their 3D printer device thing. It's like they're trying to make like plastic you can even make plastic covers for your devices.
Oh yes.
It's like they're just adding in these ideas that would possibly work, and it's like they're trying to make the storyline where you're not technically a hacker, you're a maker. You create junk and just invent it.
You still hack, so that's the one thing you do is you hack in the game.
And I wonder if Aiden Pierce is going to appear in this game as a mentor or something in this game. But then again, you find
what I like this Bad Blood DLC on Watch Dogs. I played that one. It's still one of my favorite DLCs ever. One of my top 10 favorite DLCs ever made. The Bad Blood. What it is what Bad Blood was like was you played T-Bone, which is awesome. You played this paranoid survivalist. One of my favorite characters of all time, one of my favorite video game characters you get to play is T-Bone. And it's just awesome. You play this paranoid survivalist, and they took one of the aspects from the DLC, the remote control car, and they put it in this game, which I like. And the one thing about Bad Blood is they barely featured Aiden. All he did was like there was this certain line of missions you had to do, and then you finally contact Aiden saying, "You know there are people trying to kill you, right?" Basically, type of thing. It was that sort of thing in the game. Like CTOS was sending people to kill them, and he saved him. And you learn what happened to his sister after the game ended.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's how the game works.
I know, and of course, the storyline. You know, I was surprised by the ending of it too. Sorry about that. My dog is really trying to. Come on, Bubby. Come here.
I gotta say one thing though about this game. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does.
The first game looked amazing too. It wasn't a terrible game. It was a really good game, and I could certainly say the first game, the graphics were great at the time. 2000, it should have been out in 2012, in my opinion, but it still looked like a beautiful game. I enjoyed it. I love playing Aiden Pierce. Aiden Pierce is one. I didn't like his story, but just how his character was. I didn't like his voice acting stuff. He's too mopey and too quiet riding around Aiden Pierce, but just the acting of it or just the fighting of it and stuff, you would think someone like Aiden Pierce would be a badass, but the lines that he was given, like, yes, I know. Kind of like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. That sort of thing.
You have to realize he lost his niece in a
assassination attempt.
Yeah, an assassination attempt against him, and he had to, and the storyline was basically about revenge, and he basically had to take revenge against the people who tried to kill him.
Yeah,
but instead killed his niece, which was the part of the story.
It sounds a little ridiculous, but people say, "What, his niece? That's how he's getting revenge for?" It's like, yeah, he was like those kids. If you
you have to realize something when you have to realize a family member is a family member.
Yes, I know.
Aiden Pierce cared enough to even though he was also around.
But I'm looking at this character, going back now, looking at this character, this new character, it doesn't look like he'd have anything tied to him like that, like having a niece or something. This looks more like a straight out DedSec merc almost. And he is like, and I'm going to say it like this, he's not like a San Francisco hipster. I'm going to put it out like that. This guy is too strong to be a hipster. He's too big and strong to be a hipster.
He's kind of skinny.
He's skinny, but he's also strong. He's more agile than Aiden Pierce. As we were looking at in the what's it called, the parkour mechanics of the game, we're seeing this new character just like jump around and just fly everywhere. He's quick. It's Assassin's Creed. It's Assassin's Creed style running.
Yeah, they just it does have that Assassin's Creed style running, and also that Splinter Cell type of element too.
Yes, that stealth feature and stuff. They did the first one right. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, the first one's overhyped," and people are getting.
I know, and they really tried so hard to market this as an overhyped thing, and I remembered when they first put out the first one, they showed the clip, they showed the trailer, and it was totally different.
Yes,
because they said they downgraded the graphics, and I remember they also announced that they were going to release the Wii U version of it, which didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was surprising.
The first one was overhyped to big time. It really was.
Yeah. The first one was overhyped, and they tried so hard to make they tried so hard to make it to where, they added all this DLC and added all this content to make the story look interesting. And I understand this was something that they created, a world in Chicago. And I wish it would still be in Chicago, and they could have. But
I'm glad they moved it to San Francisco. I'm going to say,
well, I guess
me and Norwegian guy were talking about this. San Francisco is far more interesting of a city than Chicago.
Oh
yeah, Chicago is boring compared to San Francisco. I used to live in the Bay Area when I was little. I remember San Francisco. There are so many interesting places. There's the bays. There's the war. There, for instance, in this game, they're going to have Oakland in it as well. You're going to have Oakland in this game. I don't think people really knows how big that is. I mean, I for myself don't like that city, and it's going to be Oakland.
Well, Oakland had MC Hammer. Well, it was also home of where MC Hammer.
Yeah, but
the Oakland A's.
Yeah, and but I'm also against the A's and Raiders, so I don't give a shit for that city. I have no love for that city. I have no love for the type of bullshit there. Like, for instance, the Oakland Raiders fans have been pulling over the last few years. I mean, they're getting violent. They've shot people dead in the streets from San Francisco just because they're Giants or Niners fans. I'm just saying, that's how Oakland's getting. And I'm kind of glad. They're putting that part into it as well, because that's a very dangerous gang-infested area in California, in Northern California. It's a very gang-infested area. So yeah, it's actually a pretty good area. And then they have the piers as well. There's the Pier 39 and Fisherman's Wharf. They better have those in there. I mean, seriously, those are cool places to go. I've been to them.
Yeah.
They're like if you go to San Francisco, you go to San Francisco to have fun, or you head over to San Francisco. The first thing you do is to go to 39.
Yeah, but then again, you're gonna go down the hill.
Yeah, and then they have the cable cars as well. They better have the cable cars, and you can't have San Francisco without those cable cars.
Yeah, because and also Chinatown, and also other things. There's a lot of things down there, and I know that
There's one thing I know about, like the cable cars, for instance. You could jump on and off almost at any speed it goes. I've learned that.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of things going on in San Francisco.
There's the hipsters, but I'm going to say it like this about the hipsters. Is yes, there's hipsters in San Francisco, but it's like Missoula, for instance. I criticize the city for having their hipster population being annoying as hell, because I live close to that city. They're a huge hipster population. So does Portland. So does Seattle. But like all those cities, they make up a small portion of the people. Not everybody's a hipster. Not everyone's a hipster. Like, for instance, have you ever watched Portlandia, the one with Fred Armisen in it?
I haven't really watched it. It was on Netflix, I know that, but I never really.
It still is on Netflix. One of the things they did in Portlandia is they made fun of the hipsters big time. Fred Armisen, Carrie Brownstein actually mocked the living hell out of hipsters. And they did it so well. They've done it really exceptionally well. So yeah.
Let's see, because I'm looking at San Francisco. The only thing I noticed the only issues they have with San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sex trafficking. That's the only issue they have.
Yeah, that same thing with Chicago. You freed the sex traffickers, and according to people that I know that have seen this before, that actually have seen this type of like, that actually know something about that knows something about like the dark world, like maybe have had police connections and stuff like that, have told me that scene in Watch Dogs is 100% real. They got that down. It was so eerily real that it's not even funny. They said that is like one of the most realistic things they've ever seen in a video game, was the sex trafficking scene in Watch Dogs. It's like,
yeah, because
when you played that part of the game, it's like you just wanted to pull out your gun and blast them all to Kingdom Come. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had to escape. You had to escape out of there because it was like
you actually helped free the girls anyway. The police came and freed them, so
yeah,
you did something right in that game.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest problem right now.
And that was one of the motivations. They slowly motivate you for wanting to kill Lucky like that.
Yeah.
They slowly motivate you for wanting to kill this guy. It's like, it's slow motivations. It's I forgot his full name. I know his name is Lucky. I know that for a fact. The first villain, he's a club boss. He's a club leader, the leader of the Chicago club. I don't know, gangs, basically, mafia.
Yeah.
Lucky is something. He basically kept. He basically was just doing these slow things that slowly just pissed you off even more and stuff. And then the sex trafficking was like, that's it. Iraq is first, then Lucky. And then you kill Iraq in a boss fight, and then Lucky is spoilers to everybody out there. If you don't want to watch this, you could mute right now. Mute right now if you don't want to hear how Lucky gets ended. You ready? You made it yet? Okay, good. Lucky. Spoiler alert, by the way, again. So anybody that's just coming in, I'm going to spoil the ending of one of the many endings of Watch Dogs. It's not the actual ending, but this is how he offed Lucky. He hacked his pacemaker at the ending of the game, and he took him out. It's like, damn. That's how you killed him. It's like, that is a brutal way to kill that old man. And it was a really good one, too. And that's how he offed him and stuff. And that was a good ending. And one of the things I hope for in this new game is you have this enemy that you have this new enemy. I'm wondering if they could do. Oh, one more thing besides the hoverboard like remote control car that you have.
Mm-hmm. The drone.
The drone. There's a helicopter drone as well.
Yeah,
a quad drone. Yes, a quad drone. A parrot, basically. Or a parrot-like drone. Yeah. Yes, you get a drone as well. You get the remote control car, and you could use them and just move around stuff. Something way different, and it's actually a really good addition to the game. I don't think they're going to add in. I seriously don't think they're going to add in. What's it called? Clothing stores, or no, not clothing stores. Helicopters, but they will add in the drones. They do have drones in, which is good.
They might just add in ninjas.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? I don't even know. But one of the other things I'm hoping for is weapons choice and stuff like that. I hope they improve upon that. They add more of a weapons design.
Well, I understand they're going to be doing it off of 3D printers, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure about weapons because I know the bitchy little hipsters that created the 3D printers hate weapons design and stuff, and they bitch about it all the time and stuff.
They have to realize that this is just a fantasy game. It's not a big deal.
I'm just saying, in real life, the hipsters that created it bitch about it all the time. Oh, and I'm seeing more and more features like the hacking. Let's get to the hacking now.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like the ball on billiards, ball on paracord rope was really good. I mean, they showed how quickly that thing could be used in combat and stuff, and like its design. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at like the scenery right now, and it looks just like San Francisco, the hills and stuff, which is better than just flat plain Chicago. It was all flat except for a Pawnee area, but everything else was flat and boring in Chicago. This one, it's hills and it's all interesting. One of the biggest features in the new game is the hacking. The hacking has been improved. It used to be you could only hack select people, JT. They could hack out everybody is how they're putting it.
Yikes.
You could hack everything in sight. And you can use the drone to hack. You could
Yeah.
the seamless online thing is still there, but you could find your buddy and go on co-op almost seamlessly now. Like if you're friends with them, you can go on co-op.
Yeah. And they're also trying to make hacking a toaster.
Hacking toaster. You know?
Yeah, I can imagine them hacking a
It's
toaster.
a distraction tool, JT. They have, and one of the hacking things I've seen is hacking vehicles, starting them up, moving them out of the way or something like that, using them like a remote control car, distracting them, or running down dumbasses.
Yeah, because they're gonna be so prepared for that one.
Oh yes, they're not going to be prepared for a car running into them and stuff. I don't think any of them are, but that's one of the things I enjoyed about what I saw so far. The scenery itself in the game, like I said before, it's San Francisco. It is definitely San Francisco. Big time San Francisco in the game. Everything about it is San Francisco. I see the hills, I see both bridges, Bay and Golden Gate, which are, I hope they get them right. I see Pier 39. I see the freaking walruses, or no, the sea lions on Pier 39. I see they have the gang-infested areas of Oakland. It's all good. It's really well designed. I'm surprised that they got it this well. They built it this well. I'm giving Ubisoft credit this time. They did a good job.
Yeah, they're pushing a lot of. They're making sure that this game makes a lot of a difference here, because you're not gonna get the biggest weapons inventory. I'm wondering how they're going to set up the weapons inventory, because
they're going to keep the weapons. I don't care about the hipster mindset. Guns are bad. I'm probably going to be the only person in real life, if you had one of those things, I'd be the only person in Chicago.
I understand.
No, I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to be the only person in Chicago with a grenade launcher. Or no, San Francisco. Sure. I'm going to be called Omega, the hipster slayer, and I'm going to track down the hipster areas and just go like, revenge, revenge. Because you know what? Those hipsters are the ones that would be running CTOS, and I think Ubisoft knows this. They might be the enemies in the game, like the Google companies and stuff like that. They're probably going to be the enemies because they're basically Bloom in real life. You know that, though, JT.
Yeah.
Google, Facebook, Twitter, they're the Bloom of real life. I mean, yes, we're on a Google product right now. We use Twitter all the time, and we're on Google right now. But they're like the real life Bloom. I'm not really sure about Google, but I know, actually, I think definitely Google would be a Bloom in real life. I'm not sure if they're evil or good. We're not really sure of their intentions just yet, but right now they're the real life Google, or they're the real life Bloom. So, right now, San Francisco is a perfect place, because that is where Bloom's headquarters would be in San Francisco. If you think about it, Bloom would be.
Here's the thing. Who's going to hack their security? That's the question. What type of security they're going to make in this game?
Yes.
Because you remember that other security company, Sect?
Yeah, Dead Sect? No.
No, not the other one. That the one that for the Chicago that they use.
They're all Bloom, and they're all Bloom.
They're all Bloom.
Yes, they were both Bloom. They have fixers that try to kill you. They'll send fixers after you, which are just mercenaries. It's called Bloom. They're always Bloom. Dead Sect are the vigilante mercenaries, and I think this time they're focusing it all on Dead Sect, which is better. It's not like, I'm Aiden Pierce and I'm mad. And then you have that creepy ass girl that is the reason why you're all dead. It's like, you screwed me over. I'm sorry that you're dead. Like that. It's just, and yeah, I was so annoyed by the first game. I was annoyed the story of the first game. The only good thing that came out of it was T-Bone. T-Bone was awesome. You remember?
Yeah, he was.
He's like, you're not paranoid enough. That was awesome. You don't have enough traps. That means you're not paranoid enough. He said that.
Well, he was more to the point. He may be a conspiracy theorist, but he was sometimes right about certain things.
No, I think we all know a T-bone. We've all met at least one T-bone in our life. I've met a bunch of them. I know T-bones in real life. There are a lot of T-bones I know here in Montana, here in small town Montana and stuff. They're paranoid, the living shit, and stuff. They're
Yeah.
like, it's out to get me and stuff. And people say they're crazy. I'm like, no, they're not crazy. They know what's going on and stuff. And yeah, there's T-bones. There's that one guy that helped you get across to the island area. There's that one guy, and yeah, I enjoyed the first Watch Dogs. It was one of my favorite games, big time. It really was. It was a surprise to me. I was surprised by it. I was like wondering why everybody was so pissed off at why it was overhyped. Yes, it was overhyped. It was overhyped big time. They tried giving away iPads or whatever, tablets to everybody at attendance at the thing, to all the journalists, to like basically to bribe them, to outright bribe them. They were trying to give away out tablets and stuff, and it was just crazy.
Well, it was to
They
promote the
they
fact that
they,
they
they
have it
kept,
on.
they kept saying, "Oh, Watch Dogs, it will make your penis bigger. It will cure cancer. It will give you a bunch of women. It will make you irresistible to the ladies like that. You will lose weight. You will have a larger penis. That sort of thing." I mean, I'm over exaggerating right there, but it's that kind of hype. A lot of games face that kind of hype, like the original Homefront, for instance. They pulled that type of hype train on it. They literally tried to hype train the hell out of that game, and the second one suffered big time because the first one's hype train. But THQ is dead. So I'm just saying there are a lot of games that suffer hype train fatalities big time. Homefront was one of them. Watch Dogs, the first Watch Dogs was one of them. Uh, Assassin's, I'm trying to think. Assassin's Creed 3 faced that hype train big time. It wasn't a terrible game, but it wasn't the best game either. It was one of the more annoying because it had that like really long tutorial. But
Yeah.
they're just trying to appease the gaming community. It's like, no, we just want a good game. We're tired of the hype. Stop putting 99% of the budget in it. And then what EA is doing. Oh God. I hope E3 is coming up, and EA is going to be giving us probably we're the only good thing out of it that I'm going to say that's going to come out of EA is Battlefield 1. That's the only good thing that's going to come out of it. Everything else, I have no hope for everything else.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely try to challenge you on that game.
But the one biggest
I don't
problem
know.
is what's going to face hype issues. Like Mass Effect 3 faced a big time as well. Mass Effect 3 got burned. Yeah, Mass Effect 3 got burned big time because of hype and EA being dumbasses, expecting people to pay more for less.
Well, they actually what they did was out of the whole situation, they had to make the online multiplayer DLC free, while the other DLC content was basically the stories. It's the same with Dragon Age too. Dragon Age, they made it more expensive, but they made the content for online free.
Hmm.
But it's like they're still selling it at $14.99, $15 for every DLC,
Hmm.
and that's what they're doing right now. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend that money for 15
No,
bucks.
my fear for this game is I hope Ubisoft has learned their lesson. I hope Ubisoft has realized we can't fool the gamers anymore. We can't just tell them we can't just tell them oh, you're just sheep. You're nothing to us. You're just sheep. We can walk right over you. We'll walk all over you like that. that whole situation. It's like you have to pay and get the season. I'm going to say it like this to everybody. If they announce a season pass at E3 with all the stuff in it right before the game's release, if they announce a season pass for the game right before the game's release, and you see all this stuff, like they offer all the packs and stuff that'll come with it, and it's tiny little stuff. I'm going to say it like this. They took stuff out of the game and they put it in the season pass, and they're doing it immediately. Don't ever fall for that bullshit. Look at what Bethesda did. They're like, we're doing a season pass, but we don't know what's going to be in the season pass, and we didn't know what was going to actually be in it till like long after the game was out. That is how a season pass should be done. But what they're doing with this one, not really. What they did, like the first one, I mean, yes, the T-Bone storyline was a totally separate game. Bad Blood, it was its own game for Watch Dogs. I don't know if you'd agree with that one, JT, but it is. It's basically its own game. When you play Bad Blood.
Well, they always seem to do something that would be totally different than the others, and I understand that this is something that they wanted to do. Yes. Right now, they're no longer. They're probably no longer doing the whatchamacallit, Assassin's Creed thing. They're probably taking a break from that because
they're taking a year off as the story. They're not releasing one this year.
Yeah, because they've been overly releasing.
They've been doing it every year. They shouldn't have done it like that. Now they have something else they could do. One year they could do Assassin's Creed. The other they could do a Watch Dogs scheme, and then maybe they could do a franchise. Then maybe they could do another IP at the third year. Just like every 3 years a new game comes out. It's like every year.
They need to do something different, and hopefully this would be a good thing for them, because they definitely had been doing a lot of strange, decisions lately that kind of affected their chances of getting what they want out of a hard-earned dollar from people. But it's like they should just stick to what they know best and try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now they've been doing the same thing for the last many years with Assassin's Creed.
Because people kept buying the game. I kept buying the game. The game was good up until Unity.
Yeah, and Unity
was like Unity and Syndicate were those games that were like, we bought Unity, but we won't buy Syndicate. And Syndicate wasn't a bad game. I could say that Syndicate was a good game.
Okay.
But the problem with Assassin's Creed is that whole, like, this city is your playground. You can only be in this city. Like the previous ones, you could travel to different parts and stuff. Like Black Flag 3, for instance, had both Boston and New York. You didn't have to stay in one city the whole time. They had different cities. They had that giant frontier. They did more. And at Black Flag, for instance, they had three settlements. They had what's it called? They had Havana, Havana, Kingston, and Nassau, or something like that. Nassau. Yeah, they had those three areas in Assassin's Creed 3, and or Black Flag, and then 3 had. Yeah, I just said what 3 had. But like they should know that like putting it in one city is not going to be enough. They would have to stretch the game out. Look at what The Witcher 3 was. That game is huge. That game is big, and I'm saying that out of like I enjoy the game. So I'm hoping. And you know what? Watch Dogs, for instance, it's gonna have several cities. It's gonna have San Francisco and Oakland. Those are two major cities right next to each other. Two major cities, JT. Right next to each other. Not only that, they're going to have that massive bay. They're probably going to have Alcatraz Island down there. Chances are they will. You can't have San Francisco without Alcatraz. They're going to have the bridge. They're going to have a bunch of other islands. They're probably going to have Alameda area. They're probably going to have all the other cities all around. So San Francisco is just a small part. They're going to have way more in the game. So here's hoping they'll do a good job.
I apologize.
You got anything more to say, JT, about
Well,
the new Watch Dogs game that you?
I think I just hope this time the new Watch Dogs will do better because like I said, I just hope the driving
yes
would be
improved.
improved.
Not that bad actually. The only problem is, and people are bitching about it, was the shooting mechanics. You can't shoot while you're driving. Let me tell you something.
You can.
Handling I'm going to say it like this, and what I'm going to say it like this, which Grand Theft Auto didn't have much of a realism. It is hard to operate a gun standing still, let alone driving at high speed. It would be, if you've ever asked police officers, have you ever shot in, 9 out of 10 times if it's safe, it's almost impossible to accurately aim a gun in a moving vehicle.
Yep.
Why else do you think like drive-by shootings are usually done with automatic weapons and they're just spraying at random? So I gotta say it like this: you can't accurately shoot while driving. Heck, Grand Theft Auto actually showed that big time. It's really hard to accurately shoot. Hey, Zamron.
Hey, what's up?
We're talking about Watch Dogs, the reveal.
Oh, cool.
Did you watch the reveal stream that they did? Here's a link.
Yeah, they just revealed it. Ubisoft UK did it, and right now they're showing the new trailer right now on Twitter.
We'll get him up to speed on the whole thing. Watch Dogs, it's a newer game that's coming out this year. It's coming out November 11th or November 15th, I think. Right now, I think they did way better this time because they had far more development time to do it. They had better development time.
Things will be very interesting at E3 this year. A lot of things are going to happen, I'm sure.
Yes, I have my E3 stream.
With a lot of new games. I know Injustice 2 got announced.
Yes. What got announced?
Injustice 2.
Oh, yeah, so we expected that one to get announced. One of the things that Watch Dogs is planning, Zamron, to reiterate this, is they fixed the parkour system. They've made it more Assassin's Creed-like.
Here's what they're going to do. It's going to be available on November 15th.
I know. That's what I said. And I'm seeing more like judo combat in this game.
Oh, yeah, and pre-order now, and you'll get an extra mission called the Zodiac Killer.
What? Oh, God.
I'm not kidding. The Zodiac Killer.
Oh, God. I get it. Zodiac Killer is famous. Tell everybody who doesn't know who Zodiac is. Zodiac Killer is a serial killer that stalked the Bay Area. He killed at random. He killed whoever he wanted, and then he made this. Sent these ominous letters and stuff. And in San Francisco, after he shot a black cab driver, I don't think he was black. I'm not sure if he was or not. After he shot a cab driver dead, people saw his face and they misidentified him, and that's how the Zodiac escaped. They thought he was black, and he escaped that way.
Yep.
And right now, it would be perfect for the Zodiac Killer story. It would be perfect for the Zodiac Killer to be in Watch Dogs. It would be. It would be a good story, kind of like how they did Jack the Ripper for us.
The question is who will play the Zodiac Killer?
The man is probably in his 70s if he's still alive.
Yeah, or they would have Ted Cruz play him.
Oh my God.
Ted Cruz.
Oh, and by the way, Kotaku reported on the leak for this game. The trailer. They reported the leak of the trailer, guys. Are they trying to get blacklisted by every gaming company out there?
Well, I don't know who's giving them the leaks of information, but
but they're not. They shouldn't be doing that. Right now, you have to be on good terms with the developers and stuff like that if you want to be at least somewhat even welcome to E3, because it's going to be like this anymore.
Right now, people are avoiding. Some developers are avoiding E3.
They're avoiding Kotaku.
Yeah, because they don't want to, they don't want to,
Getting
start.
tired of Kotaku. All the bullshit they're pulling stuff. They're already actually. Wait a minute. They're already blacklisted by Ubisoft. I'm thinking about it. They were already done that after that stupid little stunt they pulled with Assassin's Creed Unity. They already
Yeah.
got blacklisted by them. So
Well, well, here's some other news that you probably heard about. This was back in May. Uh, Cyberpunk is probably not coming out this year. It's not. They're not going to reveal Cyberpunk on at E3
mhm.
because I know that CD Red Project is not going to do it.
Project Red. Yeah, I'm not sure. We're gonna. That's just a wait and see moment. We're not really sure yet.
Yeah, because I know that.
I'll wait until I'll wait until it's revealed, or when CD Projekt Red gives a reveal City 3. I'm gonna wait till then. I'm gonna have my live
Yeah,
streams
because
next Sunday. I have my live JT. Wait a second. I have my live streams planned for Sunday night, for Sunday more afternoon and night. I might just do one single long live stream after the EA event because we're gonna have a lot to talk about with EA. Because chances are, Mass
all right,
Effect.
I'm gonna give you guys a schedule of what they're planning to do at
I know.
the conference. Will plan on doing a Blink 182 concert. Let's see here. They might show the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prelude. Let's see, what else are they gonna show? Okay, so we're gonna expect a lot of things, including a trailer for Final Fantasy. The World of Final Fantasy, we'll probably see that trailer. Dead Rising 4 is probably going to be another thing that's going to come out this year. There's also the Lawbreaker. You probably heard about that first-person shooter, that multiplayer online first-person shooter. We're probably going to be expecting that.
Yeah.
Battlefield For Honor, which is another Ubisoft game. For Honor is pretty much it kind of reminds me too much like what was that one PC game that I liked that I actually played, but it's a third-person version of it where you can fight with swords.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to also show Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, the new Final Fantasy, Call of Duty Infinity Wars. They're going to probably announce that.
I know.
Titanfall 2, they probably will announce that. Mass Effect Andromeda, they'll probably announce that. Batman Return of Arkham, they'll probably announce that one. This is the leaked news so far.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll probably expect a lot of interesting stuff to happen at E3, even though certain developing companies won't be there. They will try to. Ubisoft, I think EA is probably going to do it. The only thing I noticed, EA is going to come out with, because according to the schedule in the conference, EA, Bethesda, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo, and Nintendo. Those are the schedules that they're planning to push out there. So we're expecting a strong setup here for the companies to show off their games and their trailers, because right now, I don't know about the indie section. I know that the indie games publishing thing is kind of will probably leave a lot of people wondering what are they going to display at E3.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that Nintendo has supported let certain developers put out their games on their system, and it's going to probably be.
Nintendo right now, they have a new console planned, and we won't be hearing anything from the NX. We might. I'm going to say it like this with Nintendo. It's going to be Nintendo Direct 1. It's going to be Nintendo Direct, guys. You know, we all know that. It's going to be Nintendo Direct this year. And problem is we'll talk about this one on Monday if it happens Monday. We'll talk about it later on Monday night when I do one of those streams, like what's they're planning with Legend of Zelda during the Sony one, I think it was. That's going to happen later on Monday. We'll talk about
I know that.
Nintendo, but if they do, if they're going to reveal the NX, it'll be a surprise to everyone. Because they got to stop this, like, we're doing our own thing sort of thing. That's what's killing Nintendo. Even though how much I respect Satoru Iwata, he made a lot of bad decisions. He made a lot of terrible decisions when it came to the Wii. It was one of the worst mistakes he could have ever made as president for Nintendo. And he didn't apologize to the Wii U. He kept continuing going down this path of the Wii U just being like for instance, Reggie Fils-Aimé. He sold me when it first came out, when they first revealed it. Reggie Fils-Aimé sold me on the Wii U when he said you're gonna get all your third-party exclusives with the Wii U as well. They're making third-party games for it. You're gonna get the play Mario and Call of Duty on the same system. It was that sort of thing. They were trying to get people excited for the third-party exclusives, but they didn't, and they literally just like pushed third parties away and went into a corner and hide.
Because
and the Wii U was one of the biggest.
Here's what I found out. A lot of developers were trying to reach out to them. At the same time, they didn't know Japanese. That was the biggest problem, was the lack of communication on Nintendo's part, because they wanted developers to talk to them, but at the same time you have to talk to them in Japanese, and that was the biggest problem, was the lack of communication with because there was a big language barrier between Nintendo and the third-party developers. They wanted to make games. The third-party developers wanted to make games, but at the same time, Nintendo just was like ignoring them and not talking to them. And some developers felt like, you know what, I'm just going to go away and make systems for Xbox and PS3 and PS4 or whatever, because that's what affected Nintendo, was the lack of communication on their part. Because when they released that system, they only talked to EA, Ubisoft, and those were like the main three those were like the main two, but I don't know about the third. I keep forgetting about the third-party developer that just came in that wanted to develop for them too. And they could not. They were so bad at communicating what they were going to put out as a system, and then you find out that they were using cheap ass technology on the system, and it took a hacker to figure out this system, because this guy knew what he was talking about. That they used a Power PC chip and a 2 gig, even though they say, oh yeah, it's fast, 2 gigs of RAM, saying that it's very fast, but the biggest problem was they should have chose AMD processors over this one, but they didn't want to be like Xbox and Sony. They wanted to be simple. And that was their biggest downfall, that they made a complicated system to program on.
All right, I'm back to Watch Dogs now. We got cut off big time here.
Sorry about that.
Okay, but did you watch part of the trailer yet, Sam?
Yeah.
No, Zamron. You there, Sam?
Oh, no. I was looking at some other stuff real quick.
Okay. But yes, I'm gonna end the stream right here. I'm gonna end the stream right here, guys. I've been going on for a little bit long now. So we'll see you guys later. I've been your host, Liam Godstill. Check in tomorrow night with Nurgle stream. We're gonna talk about E3, and then next week, the next 2 days, Sunday and Monday, I will be covering E3 all day, both days. So we'll see you guys then. I've been your host, Liam Godstill, with JT Vega and SG Zamron. We're checking out. See you guys later.